What is up, everybody? It's been a minute since we've been online talking to you guys, but today we are going to talk a little bit about where we're at and what we've been doing. We just got back from the Norwegian cruise, which was a nice, relaxing trip. And then also we have been working on some other stuff, and that's kind of what this video is about. So Monday nights we're going to be talking more about our vlog. That's going to be the RV life, the different projects we got going on. We got the conversion trailer that we're working on, and we are going to be starting that back up to get that finished up, and we're going to show you some more content on that. And then Thursdays we're going to redirect that towards Moto Thursdays, and that's going to be all about motorcycles and all about different other motors, because we're going to be working on Logan's dirt bike. We're going to be getting that gearbox changed out and get second, third, and fourth gear back for him so that he can go ripping through the track right over here. But for right now, we're trying to get more organized. As RV life, you have to get organized. And when you're not organized, you just have chaos. You have stuff everywhere. And that doesn't work for me. So I'm trying to get more organized. I'm trying to get it set up so that we can do a little bit more around here, and that's kind of what I want to show you guys. Is I want to show you our desk setup that we've got set up. We're not quite done with it. We are still working on that, but we are going to be talking more about that. But what's really interesting on why we set it up this way and why I'm talking about this is we just invested into a 3D printer. Now, yes, that is a little bit of an investment. You do have to put a couple $100 into a nice 3D printer, plus the filament, plus all the other stuff that you got to buy for it. But check it out. We can print all sorts of really cool things. Like, one of the things is our kids have all their stuff everywhere. It's always a disaster in their room. For me, that doesn't work for me. So we're going to be redoing some of that stuff. We're going to be doing what's called multi-board in their room on their back wall. And that's going to be strictly all this little hexagon stuff. And that's going to be these little pieces here, which got one right here. And this is just a super simple design that you can clip in a whole bunch of different accessories, and as you clip on a whole bunch of different accessories, you can organize it. And I'll show you guys the link to this. It's called Multiboard IO down below. If you guys do have a 3D printer and you guys are interested in getting more organized with that kind of stuff, that's definitely what you want to do. Let me flip you guys around here a little bit more. But as you can see, we've been working on getting some standard designs. Now, these aren't going to be everybody's suit fit. These are going to be shelves that we're going to be building for the boys so that they can do different things. But the reason we bought the 3D printer is we want to be able to make our own stuff. And when we start making our own stuff, we make really cool things like this. So I don't have any type of desk organization, but I found this design on there. I thought it worked really good. We hold all of our pens, markers, highlighters, holds our little SD card readers. We are in the process of organizing more on the desk, but that's what's really cool about that. That is one device I printed. I've done some stuff like here where you got this here, and then of course, check this out. So basically what we got is this enclosure that we've put in place to help kind of keep it all self-contained. And as you can see, I don't have a light in there yet, so I'm using my flashlight. But you can see inside there all the little pieces is starting to print, and these are all going to be the little clip pieces that clip into the multi-board, which is just a hex board from what I've seen. But these here are the little clips that are going to tie into it. The ones that is printed on the front there are like a dual connect where it connects two panels together. The ones behind it are single. And then the two back pieces are on the left and the right. They're not fully printed out yet, but they're still working on it. Those are the arms that we had right here. So yeah, that's what we've been pretty much working on and going towards, is building our own stuff to get some organization. Now, as I start going through this, I have a whole bunch of filament that we put up in the front cabinet here. I'm trying to find the best solution to that, because once you open it, it is possible to get some humidity into there, and then you can ruin some of the filament if you're not careful. If you guys are not familiar with 3D printing, I'm not going to be your expert for that kind of stuff. I can give you guys some tips on what I've learned. Glue sticks is number one thing I've learned. I'm going to invest in some of the more of those. Flexible plates, that's another thing if you're into 3D printing. But like I said, I'm not your guys' expert. I'm just learning and sharing the information I've learned as we start going down this road. We do have Diamond and we have Bonnie that we're going to be working on. I have the brakes and the clutch and everything. I want to show you guys some videos on as far as what we did to change out the brakes, change out the clutch, get that ready for the Harley Davidson show that we're going up to in Milwaukee at home base. It is the homecoming tour, and there's going to be like Hardy and Jelly Roll and all sorts of stuff. It's like a 3 or 4 day event up there. We're going to be heading up there and spending some time up there, hanging out and listening to some good music, riding around and whatnot. So make sure you stay tuned for Moto Thursdays on that kind of stuff. But for right now, this is all we're really up to. Is we're in the process of building these out, and then also once we get done with that, we got some holes and stuff we got to fill back here because we've been rearranging some of this area for the desk space. Because basically what we did was we got a monitor. My MacBook, I needed a stand or something to kind of bring it up. Got my iPad for email and all that other stuff as far as what we got for there. And then of course in the background here we got a VCR and a printer, and that's because I'm doing a project for my parents where we're converting all the old VHS tapes over to digital and putting them onto a solid state drive for them. Makes it a little bit easier for them to watch them, because who has VHS nowadays, right? So I had to invest into all that stuff. We bought that. We wanted to go down that road, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a super cool project to get finished up, and then see all the results as we start taking some of that video footage and then kind of compiling it into different things for them to help them as far as like some special highlight moments and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, so what do you guys think? Where do you guys see the channel going as far as some of that kind of stuff? What do you guys want to see more of? I think that's what I really want to see. I think I've been struggling more with the content creation, just because I'm not getting a lot of engagement. I need that. I need you guys to engage with us so that we can kind of bring you more what you guys are wanting to watch. I've been asked multiple times on some stuff around the RV as far as what we're going to do to get some of the stuff finished up. So we are going to get that finished up, and we're going to get some of the trim work. We're going to get the shiplap ceiling all put in and get that all finished up. Get the new lights and everything installed. We're going to redo some of the vents and all that kind of stuff up here. But yeah, I think it's going to be just a matter of what everybody's wanting to see. We started doing this almost actually about a year ago, living full time in this thing, and we started renovating some of it. And then we got kind of sidetracked because as we were starting to learn from this, because this is year one, is you learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Now, just because it works best for me doesn't mean it's going to work best for you. So that's why I try to give you guys some information, because it's not going to be for everybody, first off. Second off, some things are just not going to work for certain people. Organization for us is a huge thing. Living in this RV, we first started off with 6 people. Now we're down to 3 people. And from what I've been told, my son's talking about moving down here from Illinois. So he might be coming down here to stay with us for a little bit. I'm not sure yet, but I think he is trying to make a plan to try to do that later on this year or even next year. So I don't know. I think it's a great opportunity if you're looking for a low budget type of thing. For us, we wanted to live the experience. We wanted to be able to go travel and do the different things, and that's what we're going to be able to do, because Bonnie and Diamond are going with us up to Milwaukee for the homecoming tour for Harley Davidson. And we're taking the whole rig. We're taking the trailer, we're taking everything, and we're going to document all that kind of stuff as we go up there and take her on her maiden voyage with the trailer, as far as everything's all decked out. We'll have everything finished up for the boys' room with the plates from there, all the different organization stuff. We're going to see how well it holds up. I don't know how well it's going to hold up, because it's going to be in a moving trailer that kind of rocks back and forth and does all sorts of different things. But yeah, what else? I don't know much more about different other things going on, besides just it's been busy at work. We've been taking care of some things, and I know I've been doing some shorts and trying to do that as far as keeping us engaged with some of the stuff. We've been trying to post more to stuff, but we really want some engagement from you guys. What do you guys want to see more of the channel? You want to see more of the RV life? You want to see more of the motorcycle life? Or continue to split it like we have been, where we do some of that stuff Monday nights and then some of that stuff Thursday nights? So yeah, we're gonna get some stuff finished up. We're gonna get these hex plates all done, which is called multiboard. Like I said, I'm gonna put that down below in the description. And we're gonna get the rest of these pieces all printed off so that we can start getting their organization all done, get their room all done, seal it all off, call the trailer done as soon as we get everything all finalized in that. I do have a new conversion I'm going to be doing with the battery conversion. I'm going to be putting a couple of lithium batteries on the outside because this deep cycle battery just sucks. It doesn't hold up for crap. We're also going to be putting a couple solar panels up on the roof of this trailer to help keep that battery charged, or keep the batteries charged with the lithium once we get the charger and everything else up going on that. But we have to put some precautions in place because lithium batteries are very dangerous if you don't have any type of battery management system. If you don't have a controller, you don't have all sorts of other stuff to be able to monitor and check the voltage, temperature, all sorts of the stuff with the batteries just to make it safe. So that's our goal, is we're going to start making some changes to that. Like I said, it is a never-ending thing when you get into this kind of lifestyle because you want to start going traveling and doing that kind of thing, which is great. But as you go along, make adjustments with when you go. Like if you know something's not working right for you, stop, take an assessment, figure out a better way, or think about it, or maybe tweak it just a little bit so that it works best for you. Because sometimes it's not reinventing the wheel that needs to happen, it's just kind of tweaking it just a little bit just so it works better for you. So yeah, I'm hoping this video is a good update for you guys. Like I said, I didn't know what to really do, so I'm just kind of throwing that out there and just talking in front of the camera. I'm just sitting here working on some 3D printing stuff, putting together some slice files, which is like an STL file that goes into the system so that we can go and start printing. I've been working on that, and then I'm actually in the process. I'm going to be buying a couple Raspberry Pis that we're going to tie into the 3D printer to work as a print server in a sense. And that print server is going to basically talk to it. We're going to put a little webcam on it so that we can monitor as it prints. And if anything ever happens, then we can shut it down so we're not wasting filament when we're leaving away from work. We already tried that once, wasted a little bit of filament. We don't want to do that again. So that's another project we're working on. Now I'm not, like I said, I'm not no expert at 3D printing. There's way more people out there that have way more experience than I do. Take a look at some of their channels. That's all I'm doing. Now I can share some information if you guys are seeing some of that stuff and you're seeing what's going on with me. Like when we left it, it wasn't sticking very well to the bed. It was just twirling around and just causing all sorts of like basically like just a bush of filament just going everywhere. It wasn't working very well. So what I learned was I ordered a new print bed. We put that on there. It still wasn't sticking very well. So I went and picked up some glue sticks from what somebody recommended. That helped tremendously. But it's still not right. It still doesn't want to come off right. So I did order a magnetic flex bed, which basically is just a piece of magnet that comes off and you flex it a little bit and the stuff just pops right off. Um, from what I've seen, everybody's telling me that's the way to go. So that's what we're going to try to go down and try to use, and hopefully it makes it better. And we're going to see what we can do to try to make a little bit more things for us. So one of the other first attempts I had was this. So because you guys all know I'm a Harley Davidson fan, this is the Harley Davidson shield, and each one of these little holes here are little spots for the poker chips that you guys pick up when you go to Harley Davidson. And of course, there's a little coat rack or keychain or whatever. I wouldn't trust much on those hooks because I've already broken the middle one twice. First one I printed, I broke. So I tried to weld it back up, try to fix it, and it didn't work very well, and just it broke again. So I tried to use what's called the bake theory behind 3D printing because this is just plastic, and I tried to heat it up in the oven and I melted it. Like literally, it was just a blob when it was all done. So that was my first failure at this. This is my second revision here. And then I broke this middle one yet again. I was trying to pull this off the build plate because it was stuck to it. So yeah, we're trying to find different ways. We're gonna have some trial and errors, just like RV life. You're gonna have trials and errors. But yeah, we did glue this one back on. It is somewhat solid, but I'm not really going to use it for keys or anything. And if I do, I'm going to be very cautious on what keys I'm putting up in there. But I'm going to mount this in my garage in the back there. I did modify it where I put the JK logo at the top. Wasn't my design, but I did. It was open source, so people would do when they do these files, they call remixes. They remix the file out and redo it. So I kind of just added my little flair to it. And then we're going to mount this to the garage area, put some of our poker chips that we have collected, some of the more memorable ones like the one from Sturgis, the one from Daytona, a couple of our trip ones we're going to put in here, and we're going to put that in the Moto Thursday stuff. But like I said, this is all the really cool stuff that you can print with a 3D printer. They have come a long way. They have really good entry level ones now you can buy for about $300 to $400. That's just for the printer. You do have to invest into the filament, which can get expensive. But at the end of the day, if you're like us, where you're going to build a whole bunch of custom parts, one of the other things too for the RV is we got the dock lights on the side. All they are porch lights. I want to convert all those to LED. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of them off. I'm going to take my ruler and some other tools that I got for measuring it out, and we're going to build out a new plate that's going to go over it to make it look nice, and then we're going to basically recess in a LED light for the dock lights. And that's going to help kind of give it a newer look, and I think that's going to be really cool for us to be able to kind of show off our skills for doing different custom parts and doing different things. For us, it makes sense. For you guys, it probably won't make sense if you're just doing hobby stuff. But for us, we want to be able to do some custom parts. Like we did a custom dock mount here for our dock, so everything's tucked up underneath. We also got a custom power supply holder back down there for our dock, and that all connects up underneath the desk. So everything's out of the way. So now we have a full desk all to be able to use for whatever we want. We do keep some of our camera gear up here. We keep our printer up here. We do have a guitar over there. It's kind of covered up right now because of the 3D printer. But yeah, I don't know too much more to say about that. But when we do start getting some of the stuff, I'll show you guys some of our samples as far as what we're printing and how well it's turning out. This one came out really well because my first one I did, the guy said it was calibrated. He was correct. It was calibrated for him. Now, when I started making some changes myself, it's got auto bed leveling. It does all sorts of different other things for it. So when I made the changes, I kind of screwed up a whole bunch of stuff, and it just didn't work right. Now that I've got it dialed in for me and what I'm going to be printing with it, and the PLA that I'm printing with, and some other stuff, it's going to work out good. One of the things too is when we start building the golf cart out, we're going to build a custom sound system in there. We're going to be using marine grade amps and speakers. We're going to build some custom pods for the golf cart. Get that lifted up, get it repainted and everything, get it looking really good, and be able to just enjoy it around the park as we go around places. Now, once we start figuring out what we're going to do for storage for it, for when we want to move it and take it with us, we'll go down that route and see what we need to do. But for right now, that's the plan. We're gonna get back to working on the RV. We're gonna get that the whole front finished up. I know we've been saying that for about 6 months now, but we're gonna finally get around to that. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna get that trailer done by the end of May at the latest. All that's gonna be done. You guys are gonna see all sorts of content coming out as we start getting the red oak all cut up for this. Get the shiplap all done up on top. We're gonna change out the speakers in here so when I'm jamming out going down the road, a little bit better sound quality. And what's really cool is, check this out. So you guys remember our televator fireplace? I had somebody reach out. They were following us, and this is why I do this, because I like hearing about other people's stories. This is what I'm talking about in the engagement. They reached out to us. They saw the videos. They were doing some information. They were reaching out to us because they wanted to find out how we made this. When it comes to this kind of stuff, I just kind of wing it. I just kind of put it together. I have a vision in my mind, and then when I execute it, I start putting it together. And then as I'm going and putting it together, I adjust. And not always the best way, I get that. But that's just how I operate. Like, I can't sit down and put some plans down. Like, the kind of stuff here, I can do that for designing, but when it comes to actually building a whole project out, I typically just fly by the seat of my pants and do that. And that's what I told her. I told her, basically we just took some measurements, we put it all together, and we just pieced it together as far as the best we could. We took the original housing, kept that, revamped it, reframed it out, framed it for a fireplace, put it all together, shiplapped it, and we were done. And she sent me a video and photo of her completing it. And that to me is why I still do this, because then we give people the ideas, we give people the ability to go out and do it yourself. That's what we do. We're a do it yourself. We want to save the money. We want to be able to invest that money into other stuff, and and build out and enjoy our life without having to pay a whole bunch of contractors or a whole bunch of custom parts being made or whatever. So that's kind of why we do what we do. So I appreciate it. I am going to share this photo here in this video of her sharing this with me. I hope that's okay. But you know, I think it's really cool that they reached out to us. They wanted some advice. They executed it, and bam, they have a televator rolling around where they can take it wherever they want. They got a custom fireplace put in it that's RGB, changes colors, does all sorts of cool things. So I want to see that stuff. I want to hear about that kind of stuff. So make sure you guys let us know, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.